great to be here this morning. I'm joined by Phindile from Century 21 Upper Highway. Welcome.
Thank you, Patrick. Thanks for having me, and thank you for the opportunity.
Absolute pleasure. I know we're in a very busy office here, lots of things buzzing around us.
That's
Busy
very
day.
true. That's very true.
Phindile, really want to have a chat to you today because you bring extensive experience to the table in the construction industry. Do you want to perhaps just give us a breakdown of the experience?
Well, I started my career in construction back in 2004 with the government entity. So we were busy building schools, projects, and community health centers.
Well, it's obviously proved very useful because now that you've joined a property company, I know you specialise in Assegai, beautiful area by the way.
True.
Nobody envious of you.
I love the hills and the valleys of Assegai, the beautiful landscape, the nature, the wildlife, the houses,
it's
the
just
atmosphere.
So peaceful.
It's so
Special.
tranquil.
It really and truly is. Obviously, though, there's a lot of developments in places like Assegai, Hillcrest, and beyond.
Yes.
Building. Would you say building is perhaps cheaper in the suburbs than buying an existing house, maybe compared to other rural areas, for example?
Not quite. Not quite. It all depends on the area that you're building in. Some, yes, would make a lot of financial senses to just buy a stand and build. In some areas, no. Better buy a built-up house.
Yeah, it's actually more expensive.
Yeah.
So if you take, I know we were chatting off camera before, and you were mentioning places like Adams Mission, for example.
Yes.
There's a lot of development going on there.
And beautiful houses. Yes, and you get there, the stand starts from 40, 50,000 to 100,000
for the site.
for the sites. So compared to Upper Highway, where stand starts from 400,000.
Yeah, up to million
A
plus.
million and a half. So yeah.
So it depends.
It
Where.
really depends on the area that you're going to be building up.
Obviously, if you do decide you want to build your home, because obviously one of the most beneficial things about building is you can build exactly what you want.
True that.
You're not taking other people's ideas. You're taking your own.
Yeah.
It's quite a risky business though. I mean, you hear stories.
Yeah.
What would be the main thing to look out for before you actually start to physically build?
The zoning of the land, the type of soil that you have that you're going to be building from.
Yeah.
Because you'll find that you're going to spend most of the money on the foundation, on something that you're not going to even see.
So all the money's underground.
On the ground. So for me, I'll say test the ground first.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, the recent floods, I think, obviously showed that as well. You have to investigate it very, very carefully.
Yes.
What about the funding of building? Because I know it's a bit of a different mechanism compared to if you just buy an existing house.
That's a tricky one because you need to research and find out if you're going to be building from your own savings or you're going to go the bank route. And keep in mind that the bank route won't give you just the money like an ordinary loan.
Up front.
There's your loan. No, they'll pay you installments based on the work that's been done on your building.
Okay.
And keep in mind that you need to keep about 10 to 20% of the project price as cash that you have on hand.
Yeah.
To safeguard you on overrunnings, snags, delays,
Absolutely.
rain. We have a lot of rain
recently.
so that you get covered in those instances.
And I think that's a key point because let's face it, it's always going to overrun.
Yes.
Okay. So your initial budget, you need to put a contingency budget in place, which is that 10-20% that you're talking about.
That's very true.
And then in terms of laws, municipal laws, I mean, how will you go about it? I presume you'll start off by drawing a set of plans?
Set of plans, finding out from the municipal what's the zoning is, and what are you allowed to build. And some, especially in the suburbs, some trees you can't remove.
Yes, a lot of environmental laws.
Yes, comes to play. So you need to get that sorted out, and your plans need to be accompanied by a schedule of finishings.
Yeah, because I mean the finishes is where the real money always goes because everybody always wants to put the best finishes in, those important Italian tiles
and your quartz from
exactly
your granite. So you need to research on your suppliers who are going to be supplying with the finishes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll go to a second man and you find out no, the supplier, it's the manufacturer it's gonna be cheaper.
Yes. And also, it's also the supply. I mean, I know many cases where you've ordered tiles and then there's a huge big delay, and obviously, and that's costs money. All those,
Because the project comes to a standstill because that has to be installed first before
Yes.
you do the next step.
Yeah. And I suppose that's where project management really comes in.
You need to get a contractor that's registered with NHBRC
Yeah.
because they will provide you with a good project management on site and give you a day-to-day report on what's going on,
Okay.
on what they foresee, if there's gonna be snags.
Yeah.
And with the finishings, they will tell you no, which one will look presentable.
Yeah.
It's a cost-effective.
Absolutely. It's critical.
Yeah.
So the builder you choose is really one of the most important
That's
aspects.
yes. And remember, you don't pay your builder the whole amount of money.
Yeah.
You just pay the 10% to start off,
Yeah.
and then also he gets a progressive payment.
Okay.
As the work goes on, he gets paid.
Okay. So basically, if you're funding through the bank, as you get your progress payments, he gets paid. And I know obviously there's an amount left over
Yes.
at the end.
And
Yeah.
the retention money.
Retention money.
Yes. So that we see that the building stands. If there's any snags that seems to be coming up, that money will help fix the snags.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Vital. Well, I must be honest. I think it's been a really interesting chat.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you would like to maybe just finish off with? Anything to look out for or advice? I suppose the first thing you need to do is research the area.
Research the area.
Yeah.
Find a good contractor.
Yes.
Do research on your finishes as well. You'll be very surprised at what you can get at
Yeah.
a cost-effective price.
Cost effective. Yeah. And also, I suppose some of the costs you don't think of, like you still have to put the garden in. You know,
Yes.
establish your garden, the fence, the driveways.
Yes. The security is going to be guarding the property while it's still being built
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic advice. Phindile, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay.
Really appreciate it. If anyone wants advice, we'll pop your name and your number up on screen. But yeah, thank you,
Or
Phindile.
follow me on Phindile Mnyandu Century 21 Upper Highway.
Great, and I'll do that too. Thank you, Phindile.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Until next time, we're going to do a follow-up.
Absolutely. Over and out.
Ciao.